Hello, you're welcome to my channel. My name is Adetong. For you as an existing viewer, I'm grateful. Thank you for joining me on this journey. Thank you for subscribing to the channel, and if this is your first time, thank you for tuning in today. I have other videos that I think you'll find helpful, informative, and I would just like to say that you should please go and watch them. As usual, I've come with another hot topic. Woo! And this one, it was from a conversation I was having with one of my friends who is single and in her early to mid 30s. And she said, "Oh, Dr. T, I just feel like, am I going to get married like this? Sometimes I worry that I might end up with a divorcee or a widower." And I felt, so what's wrong with that? But she said, "No, alone." I said, why is that a thing? I mean, but again, after I listened to her, I recognized that maybe some of her concerns are valid. So I thought, let's talk about it. Okay, so why would a young person, single, hardworking, eligible lady, or even a guy feel like it's not okay to marry a divorcee or a widow or widower? Sometimes people feel like for them to have lost their spouse or for them to be divorced, maybe they were not really a good person, maybe they were not really caring, maybe they didn't take care of their spouses very well. But I think that sometimes things like death of a partner, of a spouse, is not something that one really has in control of, really. Like sometimes people die from chronic health conditions, people die from different things that has nothing to do with the partner. And imagine that somebody is now widowed, and every single person in the world who could have been an eligible partner then says, "I can marry a widower, I can marry a widow." What's going to happen to them? Does that mean that being a widow or widower automatically excludes you from enjoying the bliss that marriage offers or remarriage offers? Let's think about it. Another thing is, like, people worry that a widower or a widow or divorcee comes with baggages, like there might be children involved, they may not have healed from the wound of the divorce or spousal death. And while these concerns are valid, I mean, yeah, but what if the person has healed? Think about it. What if the person has healed and the person is ready to move on and take charge of their lives? The fact that a person is widowed or divorced, we all have baggages anyway. It's not exclusive to persons who are widowed or divorced. But I totally get that if a person is widowed or divorced, there might be issues that they are dealing with. They may not have gotten over their deceased partner. They may not have gotten over the divorce. They may not have healed adequately. And if somebody gets into marriage with that kind of person, then of course there's likely to be problems. So there are likely to be problems that they could have easily avoided, or may not have happened with being married to somebody who's never married, who's never divorced, so these are some of the things that I get limitations or dissuade people from wanting to get married to divorced or widowed persons. Another thing is, like, if there are children involved, the single person who wants to marry this divorced or widowed person needs to come to terms with the fact that the children are going to be a part of that family. And I've read things on social media that suggest that some people say they hate the children of the person they want to marry. They claim they love the person, but they hate his or her child or children. I'm like, how does that even work out? You want to marry a person and then you hate his child or you hate a child? You need to be willing to accept the children. You don't have to be friends. You don't have to try to replace their mother or their father, as the case may be, but you need to be willing to accept them because they're not going anywhere. They are biological children of this person. Or even if they are not biological children, as long as they identify as a part of that family, there's really nothing you can do about it. So I do not think it is fair to want to go into a marriage with a divorced or widowed person and say that you hate their child or children. That's not kind, okay? There are other things I've heard that make people not want to, like, marry a divorced or widowed person. And I think that many of these things need to be critically examined. Like, take the issue of Ruth and Boaz in the Bible, for example. If Boaz had said, "Oh, I'm not going to marry Ruth because a Moabitess, one of the people that God specifically told us not to relate with. And then my family members went into their town. They, all of them, all the men died, and that's the woman you want me to marry? Ah, I mean, if Boaz had said, I am not going to marry a widow, imagine. Ruth was named in the genealogy of Jesus. So God has a great sense of humor, you see. So sometimes we just really need to examine the reasons for our preferences and our lists of can or cannot marry, and be sure that they are realistic, so that we are not limiting God's purposes and options for our lives because of our man-made lists. You know, nobody gets into marriage hoping to divorce, at least not many people that I know, and nobody prays for their partner to die early in the marriage. But these things happen, but we've got to move on, right? So I suppose that people still have other reasons why they will not want to marry a widow, widower, or divorcee, and I'm happy to hear these reasons. I'm happy to exchange views, to share views, and to learn from you, my viewers. I hope that this particular topic has, ignited another kind of consciousness within us, particularly those that might be in that decision-making point. And I hope that it helps. It provides some kind of guidance or views that would help you make a decision as to whether you should go along those lines or not. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Tell your friends and family as well. Please, let's grow together. Let's increase the number of subscribers on this channel. And until I come your way next time, don't stop thriving.